Hi, a very good evening, all of you. So today's live session, as you know, uh, the topic has already been revealed, and we're going to have a general discussion, especially related to last 15 days preparation strategies before NEET MDS. So 15 days before NEET MDS, right? So that will be the topic for today's discussion. I hope everything is streaming fine. If you have any issues with streaming, including audio or video quality, do let me know in the comment section. We'll go ahead accordingly. Okay. Right. A very good evening once again, all of you. So in today's video, what strategies should we implement in the final 15 days before the entrance? And also I have some very important tips to share with you. Tips which will help you increase your test scores. Tips which are practical enough for applying during your final 15 days, or even for that matter, on the day of exam. I'm sure these tips will help you in enhancing or increasing your scores, right? So I hope everything is fine. So let's go ahead without much delay. So this entire session will try to conclude in 20 to 30 minutes, and we will divide this entire session into various sub-sessions or miniature sessions, where in each miniature session we'll deal with one important topic, right? So first and foremost, what should you focus on the final 15 days or 15 days before the entrance? What should you actually focus on? This is one of the questions which we commonly face from the aspirants. So I would suggest you to revise your notes, revise the MCQs available in your test series or in your customized notes. And those are practicing tests in the form of grand tests. I would definitely encourage you to do so. To simply put, like, what should you focus on in these final 15 days or 2 weeks before the entrance? Revising your notes, revising the MCQs which you had already practiced, and coupled with that, you can take up grand tests to analyze your scores, to know where you're standing when it comes to scoring, and you can improvise accordingly. So that's the thing which I would say to the question, what should you focus on, right? So that completes one miniature session. Now coming to the next important question, what should you not focus on? So in fact, you can find this in the form of a slide where I posted initially. What should you not focus on is even more important than what should you focus on, because you should know what to exclude during your preparation. And during these challenging times, especially now, when there is a lot of negativity or rumors spreading regarding NEET MDS exam dates and all I would suggest you is, do not focus on these rumors and do not focus on news which is based on opinions. Unfortunately, in the current Indian scenario, you open any news channel, we're no longer getting news. As a matter of fact, what we're getting is opinions on that particular news, which is very unfortunate. Very few channels, like maybe Doordarshan, or there are some select channels who actually present news as it is. Otherwise, if you take social media, if you take any channels which are YouTube based or which are television based, right? The traditional media, it's all opinions. We're no longer coming across news. So we actually don't know whether it's a fact or whether it is a biased report. So all of this nonsense happens. So I would sincerely suggest all of you to not follow these rumors or news, which is not actually news. Unfortunately, these are actually opinions. And there is another reason why I'm saying this. Let me give you two examples why I'm trying to focus on this. Like, it has nothing to do with your preparation per se, but still it will have a drastic impact on your preparation, the particular topic which I'm discussing now, like what you should not focus on. One example which I would like to quote is, there is one traditional media outlet. I don't wish to reveal their name. That's not necessary, because more or less most of the traditional media outlets are following the same pattern of clickbait and trying to enhance TRPs through opinions, biased opinions. So one traditional media outlet, in their official website, They are stating that NEET MDS 2022 students are asking for postponement. They've generalized this issue and they're saying, yes, there are some students who are asking for postponement. And these guys have taken an extra step and they're trying to generalize this issue and saying that aspirants are asking for NEET MDS 2022 postponement. But that's not the reality. There are, yes, some section of students who are losing eligibility status for no fault of their own. They're asking for postponement, right? So you're not getting accurate information over there. And also in that very news article, they're saying like this year, as if it were an exception, this year, the NEET MDS application forms have been closed on January 24th, and students had only 2 months time to prepare for NEET MDS 2022. I mean, how can this be an exception? Every year, NEET MDS is being conducted in the month of December, and applications are released and they close in the month of October of the same year. So does it mean students have only 2 months to prepare? What nonsense is that? Students do prepare for the past 1 year or during their internship, or after internship, they allot 1 year, depending upon the circumstances and time availability. So my point is, even these so-called traditional media outlets, in fact, my father also shared that link with me. I was surprised looking at that article. There are no experts. Let's leave it that way. I mean, we don't even need expert tags to analyze certain things. We should have simple common sense. How can they generalize saying that all aspirants, they're presenting it as if all aspirants are asking for NEET MDS postponement. And in the very same article, they're saying like students have been given only 2 months to prepare for the entrance. What nonsense is this? So that's why I said it's no longer news. These traditional media outlets, including social media, right? They're no longer providing us with news. They're only providing us with their twisted, biased opinions. And if you're following them, you're falling in suit, you're fooling yourself in the process. So the choice is yours. You have the choice not to focus on them. You have a choice not to follow all the rumors, right? All I would suggest you is keep a tab on the official website. Don't even believe in what I say. Don't even believe in what I say. I'm telling you very frankly. Keep a tab on the official website. You'll get all the information out there. natboard.edu.in, nbe.edu.in, dciindia.gov.in, mcc.nic.in. There are just a couple of websites. All you need to do is just keep a tab on them at least once a week. Or if you find that troublesome, we're doing it for you. We're sharing all the updates only from these official websites, right? So please keep that in mind. And this is very, very important than the previous topic, like what you should focus on. Obviously, you know that you should focus on MCQs practice. You know that you should focus on your revising of your notes, your customized notes, which is very, very important and which we have been highlighting right from the beginning. And you should obviously practice more number of MCQs in the form of grant tests. These are the things which you already know. But there are certain things which are very sensitive. And if you keep probing, it will only cause more pain. So what should you not focus on? The rumors that are being spread, the kind of opinion-based news which we are getting. You might ask me like, why this is all happening? It's very simple. The logic is very, very simple. If I post a video titled, right, endodontics MCQs discussion or image-based discussion, the number of views which our channel gets is maybe 1,000 or maximum of 2,000, or over a couple of years, it goes to 5,000 or maybe 10,000. And if it's a hit, we'll get 1 lakh or 2 lakh views. That's it, right? 2.5 or 3 lakh was the maximum to one of our videos. So it takes 5 to 6 years for our channel to get that. But if I say it's a breaking news, if I say that there is something that's happening or cooking inside, and if I put some attractive thumbnail, if I twist the title by putting a question mark, trying to push my opinion, obviously it garners more and more views. So the point is very simple. The logic is very simple. Opinion-based news will garner more TRP ratings. It will garner more attention. So this is a kind of nonsensical system which we are in, unfortunately. And we cannot just blame these traditional or other media outlets out there. The problem lies with us. We are more attracted to the kind of negativity that's out there, that we are literally indirectly or directly asking these traditional or unauthorized or amateur media outlets to post news which is in line with our thought process. This simply reflects how our thinking process is. It's as simple as that. So anyways, keeping all of this aside, all I would suggest you is focus on giving your best. There are certain things which are there in your hands, focus on that, and what not to focus on these idiotic rumors or false news. And these opinion-based news. In fact, it's no longer considered as news. These are all opinions, stupid opinions being pushed into public domain just for sake of TRPs, viewership, and the interior or ultra motive. It's all about earning more money. So it's a kind of stupid system which we are creating to just increase our headaches in the process, right? So let me stop it there. And now let me come to the core point, which is exclusive for NEET MDS aspirants or those who are preparing for any competitive entrance. Now that we have seen like what one should focus on and what one should not focus on, 5 tips which I have created, right, based on my experience and observation and based on the inputs, which will help you increase your test scores. The first and foremost I would suggest to you is, number 1, knowing when to take the risk. When it comes to option selection, you have come across a particular multiple choice question, knowing when to answer it, knowing when to take the risk. I'm calling it as risk because if you get it right, +4. If you get it wrong, -1, 1/4 negative marking. So if you get it wrong, there is a chance for negative marking, which will drop your overall score. So obviously it's a risk whenever you're attempting any question, especially if you get it wrong. So if you have no idea about the question at all or the given 4 options, it's better to leave out that question. But if you can rule out one option among the 4, then the probability of getting the right answer or probability of scoring right to that particular question is only 33%, right? And if you can rule out 2 options among the 4, obviously the probability of getting it right is 50%, right? Simple mathematics. And all I would suggest to you is knowing when to take the risk. So if you cannot rule out any of the options and if you find that question tough, it's better to leave it. If you can rule out one option, I wouldn't suggest you to take the risk and attempt that answer based on this 33% probability. But if you can rule out 2 options, so 50% probability of getting that question right, I would definitely suggest you to consider taking the risk and go ahead answering that question. So knowing when to take the risk is very, very important. And you'll develop this intuition as to when to take the risk through repeated practice. That's the reason why we say and we insist that you should keep practicing thousands of multiple choice questions, which will help you develop this kind of sixth sense. Maybe you can call it a sixth sense or a kind of intuition which comes with practice, right? So number 1 and the first step is, I would suggest you to know and judge like when you should take the risk. Consider that very, very important. Knowing when to take the risk. And second thing is identifying time traps. See, there are certain questions which will take more time, and in the process, you'll lose your valuable time, which otherwise you could have allotted for some other question which you might have answered it right. So identifying time trap. Time trap is nothing but a question which takes even more than expected time. In the process, you'll be losing time. So if you are coming across such questions, again, which you will know with practice, it's better to solve those questions at the end when you have additional time, the second phase or third phase of your paper completion. So we had discussed this previously also. Whenever you're solving any grand test paper, try to solve it in 2 to 3 phases. First phase, answer all the questions which you are very confident in, and those questions which are questionable, you can answer them in second phase. And if you have time, third phase, the most difficult questions you can give an attempt in that final phase, depending upon the time availability. And for this to happen, to identify what a time trap is, you should know, like traditionally, how much time are you allotting for each multiple choice question. So based on a simple calculation, 240 multiple choice questions, 180 minutes, you'll get approximately 45 seconds for each question, right? So that's something which we already discussed prior. So there can be variation, but the average is 45 seconds. So based on that, again, you'll develop intuition with practice, which will help you identifying these time traps. So this is the second tip which I wanted to highlight. And the third one is learning from your mistakes. So this is something which we take it for granted. For suppose you're attending all these live sessions which we are conducting. You're attending these case-based discussions, image-based discussions. And if you're getting something wrong, yesterday, Sai Rajat said the session was very challenging. If you're getting a question wrong, Yes, I know it will be upsetting, but you have an opportunity there to learn from that mistake and not to repeat the same. So if you're learning from your mistakes, even though if you're scoring less in your practice test, but you're learning something from the key and explanation, not just by hearting the key, but trying to understand the basis on which the question was framed. If you're having that orientation, if you're learning from your mistakes, you will definitely enhance your score without any doubt. And the fourth tip, which I wanted to highlight, is a very simple one, but very effective. 2 times is always the charm. You see, we read the question once, we go through options once, and then we try to jump into identifying the key. But I would sincerely suggest you to go through the question, including all the options, not once, but twice. Consider this very, very important. Go through entire question, including multiple choice questions, 2 times. This will enable you from preventing, or this will help you in preventing these so-called silly mistakes. Most of us commit silly mistakes just because we haven't gone through that particular question carefully. Haven't you gone through that experience? I mean, those who are attending a live session now, you will obviously understand that, yes, I would be very glad if you're focusing on this discussion. Right? You can pose your questions at the end of the session. I would love to consider all your comments, right? Okay. It's like talking middle of the class. That's fine. I don't know where I was. I just lost track because of this comments. Anyways, I'll get back to you guys. Don't worry. So what was I mentioning about? Yeah. Silly mistakes. So the so-called silly mistakes, we commit them only because of the fact that in most of the instances, we do not go through the question at least twice. We just go through it superficially. And thanks to these social media apps, our attention span is diminishing drastically and at an alarming rate, which is making us more prone to commit these so-called silly mistakes. So please keep that in mind, right? Go through the entire question and multiple choice options, right? Various options at least twice. 2 times is always the charm. Keep that in mind. And finally, this is something which I keep on highlighting in the form of preparation mantra, but only an aspect of it will be discussed now. Believe in yourself. If you believe that you're going to score well, you're going to score well. In fact, scientific literature, studies, time and again have proved that if you judge yourself to be capable of success, just judge yourself to be capable of success, increases your chances of actual success. So judging yourself like you're capable of achieving success will increase your chances of actual success. But if you judge yourself as not capable of achieving success, then obviously you will not achieve success. It's as simple as that. It's about the kind of inputs which you're going to deliver to your mind at subconscious level, which plays a very major role. So it's like manifesting. If you're asking for something, if you're sincere enough, right, it will be manifested eventually. It's no magic. It's a very simple fact based on sound scientific principles that once you keep feeding positive inputs into your mind, your thought process, your actions, everything will be aligned in line with your thought process, in line with the feedback which you give to your mind at subconscious level. So it actually works out. So if you think you'll score well, you will score well. So to summarize the 5 tips which will help you increase your test scores, number 1, knowing when to take the risk, especially when attempting the multiple choice question, like depending upon the number of options you're excluding from that particular question. Second, identifying time traps. Certain questions take a lot of time, and in the process, we end up not answering them, right? So you should be able to identify such questions and push them to the final phase of your preparation or your test. Keep that in mind. And the third one is learning from your mistakes. Fourth one, reading twice. The entire question twice is always a charm. And finally, believe in yourself and keep feeding yourself the inputs that you're going to do well, going to score well. And if you believe in that 100%, obviously you'll increase your test scores without any doubt. Now that we have discussed these tips, now let me get back to the first phase of this live discussion. I mentioned something about what to focus on and what not to focus on. And an extension to that, the bigger question which we should all ask ourselves right now is, what if NEET MDS gets postponed? That's the only fear which majority of the aspirants are highlighting, right? What if NEET MDS 2022 gets postponed? If it gets postponed, consider that as an additional time or bonus time for revision. And if it gets postponed, then again we'll conduct another live session and deal with it accordingly, period. Right? As simple as that. As simple as that. But if you keep on discussing, if you keep on highlighting, if you keep on pointing out fingers, it obviously appears like a bigger problem. I know the exam has already been postponed once. I know many of you are frustrated, many of you are facing a huge challenge. But what other option do we have? Taking the negative side or trying to be optimistic and being on the positive side? So the choice is ours 100%, without any doubt, right? We don't need NB to assure us or to give us positive news. You don't need our channel, you don't need me. All you need is yourself to be on the positive side of the coin 100% throughout your personal as well as professional life. So with these inputs, let me conclude my version of this live discussion. And now let me get back to your comments. And if you have any requests, yes, of course, you can post them in the comment section, or you can get back through mail 24/7. We're always there with you. We're there for you. We're always there with you, right? Yeah. Hi, Ritu. Very good evening. Rishikesh, amazing. It's really a wonder that you always have the first comment, no matter how hard I try to type the first comment in the live comment section. So hats off to you, Rishikesh. I really appreciate your enthusiasm. And Rishikesh, to other students, I would like to highlight this. Rishikesh is one of the very few students we have who actually submits complaints report right on time every Sunday, consistently has been doing it for the past 1 year. My point here is, it's not about scoring, it's not about ranks, it's not about achieving something, or it's not about reaching the final destination, it's about the process. Those who get the process right, those who are consistent in their efforts, will eventually experience success, not just at the end part of their journey, but throughout their journey, without any doubt. Rishikesh, I really appreciate your enthusiasm. And for the past 20 or 22 sessions, which we have been conducting for the past 5 to 6 weeks, Rishikesh has been attending and has been entering into the class, I think, for the first, he's the first person to enter the class online. I'm sure he's the first person to also enter his offline class. Hi, Ritu. Hi, Sodina. Very good evening. Hi, Sai Rajat, Farha, Saurabh, Shailaja, Payal, Monica, Smriti, Manav, yeah, Pile 1, Pile 2, Sujay. A very good evening. Hi, Weltin. Hi, Navin Kumar. Hi. First, please, before you post a request, why don't you just say hi? Don't you want to say hi to me? Do you hate me that much? Come on, just say hi. Okay, Navin Kumar, we want general surgery discussion, sir. Navin Kumar, definitely will consider your request. Weltin, okay. Navin Kumar, ulcer, thyroid, gangrene shock, important MCQ based concept. Navin Kumar, yeah. In fact, we already are providing the same in our e-classes, test series, key points, topic-wise MCQs. We'll also definitely consider your request and try incorporating them in the upcoming live sessions. Also, Navin Kumar, you can check out our previous revision classes, which are available in our channel. Last year, just before the entrance, we have taken our revision classes from almost all the subjects, so you can check it out as well. Okay, Welton. While studying, these topics are coming to your mind, which means someone or something is telling you that you can have questions from this particular topic in entrance. Hi, Ruksha. Hi, a very good evening, Ruksha. Hi, Madhuri, a very good evening. Ruksha, it's a very interesting name. The moment I look into the wordings, all I could recollect is Pushpa. but it's not Pushpa, it is Ruksha. It's a very interesting name, Ruksha Mukherjee. A very good evening. Hi, Naveen. Okay, you're saying hi now after I gave you some inputs? Okay, accepted. I'm just kidding. Okay, yeah, right. Yeah, I will definitely consider a request. And yeah, that's it. So if you have any queries, you need any assistance, always feel free to get back to mail 24/7. And what should you not focus on? As mentioned in the title of the video, do not focus on rumors, do not focus on negative news, do not focus on the so-called news, which is actually opinion-based, biased, twisted for their own, for fulfilling their own strategies, right? They want TRPs, they want viewership. Ultimately, they want to make more money. I'm not saying they're bad guys, but that's completely skewed and a wrong way to do it. As simple as that. It was not topic. It's about exam postponed. I didn't get you, Elton. Can you just retype your comment? What does postponed mean? I mean, what does it mean? Sairajit, fake news. Yeah, you can call it as fake news. In fact, we shouldn't call it as news. These are opinions. I mean, opinions can be stupid. Opinions can be foolish. Numbers, facts are always sacred, but it's difficult. Fact checking is one of the major topics of debate and discussion throughout the world. Take Twitter, you take Facebook, you take social media apps, you take these traditional media outlets. Fact checking, who is going to do that for them? If someone is doing that for you, on what basis are you going to trust that particular person? Right? What is their real motive? What is their hidden agenda? So all of these are playing a very significant role. And in the process, the average person, the common person like you and me, we're not getting to know the facts. We're not getting to know the actual news, which is definitely an unfortunate consequence of this modern world. Postponement. I'm sorry, these are some of the new words which I'm coming across, Welton. Okay, so anyways, Rupsha, sir, I'm revising last 10 year question papers. What should I do in last 15 days? Rupsha, you can just check out the beginning of this live session. We have discussed this in length, elaborately, and also the previous live sessions. I would suggest you to focus on revising your notes. Yes, previous MCQ papers. Also consider taking up grant tests to practice in exam, final exam point of view, or in final exam format to enhance your confidence. Okay. So also check out this entire live session and feel free to contact us through mail at proudtobedentist@gmail.com for any further queries or assistance. I know it's postponement. I'm just trying to extract the right word from Welkin Paulos. But still, I think he's more interested towards using the word postponed or postponement. Maybe I think you love the element phosphorus. We have white and red phosphorus. Phosphorus is one of the things which we commonly use in matchsticks, matchboxes. Okay. Okay, guys. I'll see you again tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. We'll go ahead with our subject discussion, image-based discussion, case-based MCQs. We'll try to incorporate as many as possible. So keep in touch. Bye. Take care.